Python is awesome, and in our previous video we saw some of the values that can be used in Python programs. In today's video we are going to talk about the variables in Python. Okay, so don't worry if you don't know about the variable, why it is being used and all. This tutorial is all about it, and by the end of this tutorial you will be able to capable of creating using variables in your Python program. Variable is a fundamental concept for any programming language, I think, and this is one of the first topic which is taught in if you are learning any programming language. So let's just dive in. You already know what we need to do. I just need to open Python IDLE, and here in this Python IDLE I will now start writing about the program and we will learn about variables. Okay, I'm zooming it a little bit so that you can see clearly what I am working. Now, what is a Python? What is a variable? Sorry. Variable is a placeholder, is a container that can contain values. Okay. At a time, a variable can contain only one value. And because the name is variable, so the values can vary from one to another, to another, to another. Basically, you can update the value in the container, in that variable. Okay, let's just picturize it. So before picturizing, let me now just see what is the value. Let's say there is a value 67. Okay, now this 67 is a value that I want to use often in my program, but I don't want to use it 67 again and again. What I will do, I will actually give it a name. So let's say I, and in order to assign the 67 value to this name, which is I will use this equal to operator or assignment operator. Now when I am writing this, what happens? The variable I is created and value 67 is assigned to it. Okay, so that is the role of assignment operator. So it whenever you use it, every time it assigns the right side value to left side variable. So I is 67 right now. So if I have to picturize it, how will I picturize it? I will simply write, I will create a container. Okay, this container named as I. And what is the value right now? It's 67. Now, whenever I want, I can change this value from 67 to 68, or it can be anything. Let's now try to do it. So before I change its value, let's just press enter so that it works. Actually, the assignment happened now. Now, if I want to print the value of I, what will I do here? I will type I and press enter. That is how I got 67. Perfect. Now, this says that the value of I is 67, or you can also say the value at variable I is 67. If I want to update the value, I will again use assignment operator. Now I will say I equal to, let's say, 9. So the value will now update from 67 to 9. That's all. And if I print I now, what will print? 9. So that means the variable can hold only one value at a time, but you can update it as many times as you want. So I hope the concept of variable is clear. Okay, but one question: will this hold only integer type values? Actually, no. Any variable can hold any type of value. So let's create one more variable, j, and I am again giving it a value, let's say 1. So I have two variables now, I and j. So let's now do I. So I is 9. Let's now print the value of j, which is 1. Perfect. Now, what happens, as you saw, whenever I use this I, so I use I, so what happens from the container? The name is I, first value was 67, second value was 9, so 67 was deleted or override by value 9. Finally, whenever I am using what I am writing I, and it will now take value from this container and put it here. And that is how I am getting 9 here. Similarly, in j case, the container was created with the name j, the value was 1, and when I am writing j, it is actually writing the value here and printing the value. Perfect. So if it is doing so, if I write a mathematical expression, if I am saying I plus j, will it work? So if it is working the way I am saying, it will first pick the value of I from container, which is 9, then value of j from container, which is 1. It should print 10. Perfect. Now I'll go one step ahead, and what I'll do, I am creating one more variable, let us say k, and now I am storing not a value but a mathematical expression. I am saying k equal to I plus j. Now what will happen? As I told you about assignment operator before, this is what assignment operator. What does it do? It look for the value in right hand side of this assignment operator, and it look for the variable into the left hand side. Okay, so it will try it because this is an expression, so it will solve it. So value of I will be replaced by the value of I in the container at present, which is 9. The value of j will be replaced by 1, and it will solve first. So finally this will become k equal to 10. And you already know, if I write k equal to 10, like if I write j equal to 1, what happens? Container k or variable k is initialized with value 10. So k should hold value 10 now. Let's now press enter. If I print k, what should I get? 10. I'm getting 10. Perfect. So I hope things are clear until this point. Let's now do something else. I'll first clear this out. As I asked you earlier, will it hold only integers? Obviously no. Let's create a variable a that holds an integer 9. Let's create a variable b that holds a floating point value. Let's create another variable c that holds a boolean value, true. Then create another variable d that holds a string. So I am giving my name here. Enter. Now a, b, c, d all are initialized. All have different type of values. So if I print a, it will print an integer. If I print b, it will print a floating point number. If I print the value of c, it will print a boolean number. If I print d, it will print a string. Perfect. Now let's see, there is one more option. What is that? That's right now what I'm doing, I am assigning one value at a time. But there is a possibility of doing multiple assignments. So let's do that. I'll clear it and I will create a variable x. Then one more variable by putting comma y. Another variable z. So I created 3 variables and give assignment operator equal to. I am now assigning 3 values to it. I am saying it is 10, 20 and 30. Will it work? Let's see. Enter. There is no error. That means it worked. Okay. But does it actually store the value? Let's see. The value of x is 10. The value of y is 20 and the value of z is 30. So that is how multiple assignment works. One more thing we can see here. What we can do, let's say L equal to M equal to N equal to 100. So L is equal to M equal to N equal to 100. I try to initialize L, M and N variables to 100 in one line. Will it work? Let's see. Press enter. There is no error. If there is no error, at least something is working, but it's working in the same way as we are thinking. Let's see. Let's print the value of N. Obviously it will be 100 because N equal to 100 we can see clearly. But what about if I try to print the value of L? What will that be? That is going to be 100 too, because how does this assignment operator work? This worked this way, that first it tried to solve from here to there. So first this one was solved, so N become 100. Then this was solved, so M become similar to N, which is 100. Okay. Finally, this particular thing was solved, so L was declared as well as initialized with the value of m, which is 100. And that is how when I print n, I'm getting 100. When I print l, I'm getting 100. If I print m, then also I'll get 100. Perfect. I have one more question. What I did here, I created 3 variables and I assigned 3 values. All these 3 values are of similar type. These are of integer type values. Can I assign different type of value? Let us say first one is integer, second one is boolean, third one is string, fourth one is float. Is it possible? Let's see. So what I'll do, I will create 3 variables. Let's say e equal to e comma f comma g comma h equal to. So again what I am doing, one integer, second float, third boolean, and fourth, that is h's value, I want it to be a string. So I am writing message here. Enter. If I print value of h now, what will appear? If we look into this, how does this work? This message is assigned to h, true is assigned to g, 3.4 is assigned to f, and 5 assigned to e. Let's see, if I am printing h, I should get what message? Perfect. If I am printing f, I should get 3.4. If I am printing e, I should get 5. And finally, if I print g, I should get 2. Done? You understood this part. Let me now just clear this screen. Now, you will obviously create variables in your program, but you need to know what is an appropriate or what is an acceptable name for variables. So variables can use letters, they can use numbers, and they can only use underscore in their name. So if I am creating something like I-h equal to something, it is not acceptable. Why? Because in this variable name there is hyphen, not acceptable. The error is syntax error basically. But underscores are acceptable. So if I write I_h, it is acceptable. Perfect. If I print I_h, what will I get? I will get 90. So minus not allowed, underscores are allowed. Numbers are also allowed. So if I write I6 equal to something, let's say 80, perfect. No problem at all. But if I try to put the number in the beginning, then there will be a problem. I can't create 6i. Something, let's say. Not possible. Why? Because in names, 6 or any number is not acceptable at first location. Not allowed. Any name cannot start from a number. So I hope this makes sense now. One more thing, for Python, the caps, the difference between letter, like small letter and capital letter, is a different variable. So n equal to 8 is fine. Capital N equal to 0 is fine. Both are different variables. Both are different containers. If I print a small n, I will get 8. If I print capital N, I'll get 0. So these are some rules that you need to know before you start creating your own variables. Let's learn something else now. So what I will do, I will clear this. Now, let's see if I have already assigned a type of value. So for example, I, we already have that. Okay, what is the type of value assigned to I? 9. So that means the data type of I is also integer. Let's see, type of I is integer. Correct? This we have seen yesterday. So what if now I want to store some other type of value in I? For example, I want to store false in I, which is a boolean type value. Is it possible? There is no error. That means something has happened. And if I print the value of I, now I will get what? False. And also if I check the type of I now, it will be what? Boolean type. That means it does not really matter that if you store integer into a variable, then you can't store a string or a boolean value to that. It is possible. You don't have to specify the data type in the beginning. You can change the data type dynamically simply by assigning a new type of value to a variable. That is a very good feature of Python, which is not available in other programming languages. Also, one more thing that we will see now, I am clearing it multiple times. I have cleared it multiple times, but these values are still there. All the variables that I have used till now are there. So let's see, I is there, j is there, k is there, a is there, correct? X, I don't know if x is there, y is there, all the variables are there. But if we don't need them in a program, then what we should do, we should delete them so that memory is free for some other resources. How we will delete a variable once we created that? It's very simple. You just need to use del keyword. And after that, you will write what? You will write the name of the variable that you want to delete. For example, I want to delete I. That's all. Just enter. Now I is deleted. Previously, when I tried to print I got the value false. But when I try to print the value of I again, what will I get? An error, because I is not yet defined. The error is name error. Name I is not defined yet. Okay. So you can delete all the variables which are available, like delete y. Now if I try to get y, it is gone. It is not visible here. So again you can declare. Now you can declare I equal to 7. That's perfectly fine. Okay, but if you don't need it, you simply delete it simply by using delete keyword. Okay, so I hope you will do that. Finally, one more rule about naming variable is that you cannot use any reserved keywords for variable name. For example, right now you have not seen any reserved word, but let me tell you, for is a reserved word in Python. So I cannot create a variable name for. If I do this, it will be an error. Similarly, if is a reserved keyword in Python. If I try to use this as a variable, there will be a problem. So that is all for the variables. I think most of the things that I want to talk about variables are cleared in this video. So from tomorrow or from the next video, you will see more advanced tutorials. Now the variable part is done. So tomorrow we will create our first Python program. If you are interested in learning development using programming or no-code tools, Learn by Watch, where you are watching this video, is perfect choice for you. Subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of my tutorials. Thank you very much.